The first month Liam spent as part of Ethan's crew, he was finally brought along to witness the inner workings of their campus reputation. Inside the dim, wood-paneled back room of a local dive bar, two groups of guys faced each other over a long table, the air thick with hostility. Liam, having arrived late from his part-time job at the campus library, felt the tension immediately. He sidled up to a friend, keeping his voice low, wanting to know what the situation was. His friend merely offered a lazy yawn, seemingly unconcerned. It was a negotiation, he was told, so just wait. Across the room, a guy from the opposing side slammed his palm on the table, the sound cracking through the low murmur. He declared that the field was theirs and they wouldn't be giving it up. It was clear the talks were about to collapse. Liam's gaze drifted instinctively to Ethan, who sat in the corner, scrolling through his phone with a mask of faint annoyance. Beside him, his oldest friend, Caleb, let out a cold laugh. Caleb addressed the tallest guy in the other group, reminding him that they'd already agreed on a schedule for the practice field and accusing them of welshing on the deal. The atmosphere grew even more strained. Liam started to inch his way towards Ethan, a magnetic pull drawing him closer to the person he'd been silently admiring for months. He just wanted to be near him. Victory was almost in his grasp as he neared the space behind Ethan's chair. But in the poorly lit room, his foot caught on a stray chair leg. Before he could process what was happening, his center of gravity was gone, and he pitched forward uncontrollably. His trajectory was aimed directly at Ethan, who had just chosen that exact moment to stand up. What followed was a chain reaction entirely beyond his control. As both sides were on the verge of a full-blown brawl, Liam collided with Ethan, sending them both tumbling to the ground. He landed directly on top of him, his fall cushioned by Ethan's body. A soft, warm pressure against his lips registered a second before his brain caught up. He had kissed him. The air was filled with the scent of Ethan's laundry detergent and something uniquely his own. Pinned beneath him, Ethan's dark eyes stared straight up into his, pupils wide. The first coherent thought that pierced through Liam's panic was that his life was effectively over. A circle of stunned silence replaced the shouting. Guys who had been rolling up their sleeves froze mid-motion. As the scene registered, a collective gasp rippled through the room. Ethan wasn't just known for his formidable reputation. It was common knowledge that he was straight. To have his first kiss stolen by another guy in front of everyone was a death sentence for the perpetrator. Liam felt a cold dread, certain he wouldn't live to see the sunrise. Becoming a part of Ethan's circle had been an accident. He had been delivering a love letter for his cousin and had somehow mixed it up with his own confession, placing it directly into the hands of his crush, Ethan. The letter itself wasn't the biggest problem. The problem was Ethan's well-known intolerance for that kind of attention from another guy. So, Liam had embedded himself in the group, a shadow hoping for a chance to discreetly retrieve the letter before Ethan ever decided to read it. Now, after a month of failing to get it back and succeeding only in making a fool of himself, he had committed the ultimate transgression. He was so consumed by panic that he didn't notice Ethan's hands resting firmly on the small of his back. Apologies tumbled from his lips as he scrambled to get up, but Ethan's eyebrows arched. His hands shot up, grabbing the collar of Liam's jacket and pulling him back down. Liam froze. He heard Ethan's voice, a low murmur meant only for him. "Kiss me again." Liam was sure he was hallucinating. This was the guy everyone said was straight. He stared, dumbfounded, at Ethan's sharp features, his throat suddenly dry. After a few seconds of Liam's stunned inaction, Ethan's head tilted and a silent laugh shook his shoulders. Liam could feel the heat rising in his own face, mortified that even in this situation, he was getting lost in the guy's good looks. It was Caleb who finally broke the spell, pulling Liam to his feet. He gave Liam a thumbs up, his expression a mixture of awe and disbelief. "Dude, I'm impressed," Caleb said. The interruption shattered the tension. The tall leader of the other group choked back a laugh. He waved a dismissive hand, saying it was no big deal and the issue was settled. They would stick to the original schedule for the field, admitting it was their mistake. Just like that, the confrontation that had been simmering toward violence dissolved. As the other group filed out, Caleb flipped them off before turning to Ethan, who was now standing and brushing himself off. He asked if Ethan was okay, if he'd hit his head. Ethan shook his head, his eyes fixed on Liam. Liam was still reeling from the phrase, "kiss me again." Had Ethan been driven mad by the shock? Now that they were alone, Caleb started laughing without restraint. He slung an arm around Ethan, asking where he'd found someone like Liam. He called Liam one of a kind for daring to kiss Ethan in front of so many people. Liam's face was still burning. He managed to stammer an apology, insisting it wasn't intentional. Ethan watched him for a long moment before finally speaking. "Yeah, I know." Yet Liam had the distinct feeling that wasn't what Ethan truly wanted to say. He never got the courage to ask what he meant by "kiss me again." As he walked towards the door, he could still hear Caleb's loud voice behind him. "Something's up with you, man. You didn't even throw a punch. I can't believe you didn't lose your temper." Ethan's calm retort followed. "You should worry about yourself. How many times this month has it been with him? You drag us all into your drama every time you two have a fight. Are we just props in your little game?" Caleb's voice rose in protest. "Don't make it sound so gross. It's not a game. We were gonna fight for real. He and his crew tried to steal our spot. I'm never backing down for him." Liam's thoughts were suddenly sidetracked. He wondered if Ethan's words implied something more between Caleb and the tall guy, Logan, from the other crew. From that day forward, the story of what happened in the bar spread like wildfire across campus, each retelling more exaggerated than the last. The final version that settled into campus lore was that Liam had forcibly kissed the untouchable Ethan. The subtext was clear: Liam was the aggressor. While no one dared mention it in front of Ethan, they had no problem discussing it in front of Liam, their eyes filled with a strange kind of respect. He was the guy who did the unthinkable. Liam, who had previously sought out any excuse to be near Ethan, now found himself avoiding him altogether. Feeling lost, he pulled out his phone and sent a message to a user he'd been gaming with for 2 years. "Dude, you there?" He'd met the guy in an online game after graduating high school. They didn't talk much, but he was always reliable, the kind of person who always responded. They had pulled all-nighters grinding for ranks, completed quests together, and explored every scenic corner of the game's virtual world. Eventually, they had exchanged contact info. After about 10 minutes, a reply came through. "Yeah, what's up?" Liam hesitated, then began to type. "So, I have this friend, and he accidentally kissed his crush the other day." He emphasized that it was a friend, then proceeded to recount the entire embarrassing incident in text. Finally, he asked the crucial question. "What do you think he meant when he said, 'Kiss me again'?" The reply took even longer this time. "Is it possible he likes you too?" Liam's eyes widened. He typed back furiously. "No way. He's straight. It's impossible for him to like me." The other end went silent. 3 minutes later, Liam realized his mistake. A new message popped up on his screen. "My friend." Liam could have died from embarrassment. He sent a flurry of sticker emojis to deflect from his blunder. His friend didn't tease him further, simply sending one last message. "He won't know you like him if you don't tell him. You have to try." Liam stared at the phone, the words sinking in. Pursue Ethan? So, on the day of Ethan's big intramural basketball game, Liam showed up early, a cold bottle of Gatorade in hand, and secured a prime spot near the bench. As a member of the crew, delivering a drink to the leader after a game was perfectly normal. The stands were more crowded than he expected. Two girls from one of his clubs spotted him and called out his name, looking from him to the drink in his hand. They asked if it was for Ethan, and when Liam nodded, their smiles widened conspiratorially. He didn't understand why his simple gesture seemed to make them so happy. After they left, he continued to wait. The midday sun was relentless. After a while, he couldn't stand the heat any longer. Seeing that Ethan would likely be on the court for a while yet, Liam gave in and twisted the cap off the Gatorade, taking a long drink. There was a vending machine nearby. He'd just buy Ethan a new one. But as he finished his drink and turned to go, he heard Ethan's voice call his name. Ethan's voice was unsteady, laced with heavy breaths from the game. He jogged over, his chest rising and falling as he caught his breath, his eyes immediately landing on the bottle in Liam's hand. He asked if it was for him. Liam automatically said yes, then remembered that he had just drunk nearly half of it. He started to say he would go buy another, but Ethan had already taken the bottle from his hand. "Don't worry about it. This is fine." Liam watched, frozen, as Ethan tilted his head back and drank from the same bottle. A deep blush crept up Liam's neck, and he suddenly found it impossible to look Ethan in the eye. The charged silence between them was broken by Caleb, who came over fanning himself with his hand. "There you are," he complained, leaning against Ethan. "I've been looking all over for you. Give me some of that, I'm dying of thirst." He reached for the bottle. Ethan casually moved the Gatorade back into Liam's hands. "Go buy your own," he said, pushing Caleb away. "And get off me, it's hot." Caleb's eyes widened in offense, but before he could launch into a tirade, a new bottle of water was tossed into his chest. Liam looked over and saw Logan, the tall guy from the bar, standing a few feet away. Caleb took the water and walked towards him, grumbling, "My best friend is useless. My mortal enemy treats me better." Ethan just shrugged. "Be careful you don't end up giving away more than you planned." Caleb was too far away to hear the quiet. Liam remained rooted to the spot, his mind replaying the image of Ethan drinking from his bottle. It wasn't until Ethan was about to head back onto the court that he broke the spell. He reached out and ruffled Liam's hair. "Are you an idiot? Go find some shade instead of standing here. We'll grab pizza after the game." Liam nodded numbly. "Okay, yeah. I'll wait for you." Later that evening, sitting in a crowded booth at a local pizza joint, the reality of the situation finally began to feel real. There were about 8 of them, mostly the same guys from the bar. Logan was there too, arguing with Caleb over whether pineapple belonged on pizza. It was an all-guys affair. As soon as they had ordered some food, cases of beer were brought to the table. Caleb raised his bottle. "No one's leaving sober tonight." Liam was seated next to Ethan, who leaned in close to be heard over the noise. "Can you hold your liquor?" he asked. Liam had to lean in as well to hear him. For reasons he couldn't explain, he found himself saying he was okay with drinking, silently adding that his personal best was passing out after 3 beers. Ethan chuckled. Good to know. Being so close, Liam could smell the fresh scent of soap on Ethan's skin. He must have showered after the game. The clean fragrance was a welcome contrast to the smell of beer and greasy pizza filling the room. Liam unconsciously leaned a little closer, inhaling deeply, until he heard Ethan's soft laugh again. His ears burned, and he quickly pulled back, grabbing his beer and taking a long swallow to cover his embarrassment. 2 beers later, Caleb declared that drinking was boring and proposed a game. A round of beer pong. The loser of each match had to either chug a beer or do a dare given by the winner. To Liam's surprise, when it was Caleb's turn to challenge Ethan, Ethan agreed to play. "My aim's a little off tonight," he said, picking up a ping-pong ball. Caleb looked at him strangely but didn't question it. The game was over quickly. Ethan lost. Caleb celebrated obnoxiously before his expression turned to one of confusion. He remembered Ethan being a master at this game, finding it strange that he would lose so easily. Ethan, however, just shrugged it off as a bad night. Caleb pushed Ethan's beer away. "Drinking is boring. You have to do a dare." Liam looked at Ethan, surprised he would agree to such terms. But Ethan just leaned back in his chair, the picture of nonchalance. "Fine." A murmur of excitement went through the group. Someone shouted that Ethan rarely agreed to this stuff, so Caleb had to make the dare good. Caleb thought for a moment, then slammed his hand on the table. "You have to kiss someone in this room." Instantly, every head in the booth turned to stare at Liam, mischievous grins on their faces. They were all thinking of the incident at the bar. Liam's own gaze involuntarily fell to Ethan's lips, remembering the brief, accidental touch. His mouth went dry, and his heart began to pound against his ribs. He wondered who Ethan would choose. The room fell quiet. Someone offered a suggestion. "Just pick Caleb. He's the one who suggested it. Gross him out." The suggestion was met with a roar of laughter and agreement. Drunk and emboldened, Liam's hand found Ethan's arm and squeezed. Ethan, he thought, nearly saying the name aloud. His rational mind knew that Ethan choosing Caleb was the safest, most logical option. It was just a game to them. But for Liam, anything involving Ethan felt like so much more. Dejected, he lowered his head and let his hand fall away. The next second, Ethan's hand covered his, lacing their fingers together. He addressed the entire table, his voice clear and steady. "I choose Liam." Liam's head snapped up, his eyes wide with disbelief. Ethan smiled at him, leaning in close so only Liam could hear. "You kissed me once. It's only fair I return the favor, right?" And with that, he cupped Liam's jaw and kissed him. Caleb's dare had been to kiss someone, not necessarily on the lips. But neither of them pointed that out. This kiss was longer, more deliberate than the first. Just as Ethan started to pull away, Liam, his judgment clouded by alcohol, instinctively chased his lips. He felt Ethan pause in surprise for a fraction of a second before slowly pressing back against him. Finally, it was Liam who broke away, breathless. The moment their lips parted, the booth erupted in cheers and applause. The noise was deafening, but Liam's focus was entirely on Ethan, his name a whisper on his lips. Ethan deflected a beer Caleb tried to shove at him. "Yeah, I'm here," he answered Liam softly. Caleb then turned his attention to Liam. "I knew you were a legend when you tackled him at the bar. Let's do a shot." Liam found it hard to refuse, and one drink with Caleb led to another. The rest of the night blurred together. His last memories were of Ethan leading him out of the restaurant and back towards the dorms. Ethan shared a two-person suite with Caleb, who wasn't there that night. Halfway there, Liam suddenly stopped walking, refusing to go any further. He remembered Ethan crouching in front of him, his voice patient. "What will it take to get you to cooperate?" Liam stared at him for a long moment before his drunken mind supplied an answer. "You're nice to kiss. Let me kiss you again." Ethan froze on the spot. Then he turned his head and laughed softly into the night. "Liam, you're a menace." In the dim light of the campus streetlights, his smile was devastatingly handsome. Liam couldn't resist. He leaned forward and pressed a quick kiss to Ethan's cheek. Then he pulled back, his face flushed. "Okay, I can go with you now." He didn't dare look at Ethan, but he heard his breath hitch. Finally, Ethan let out a resigned sigh and took his hand. "I'm done for. You've got me, Liam." Waking up in Ethan's dorm room the next morning, the memory made him want to disappear. He thought Ethan must possess the patience of a saint not to have just left him on the street. From that moment on, Liam found it impossible to meet Ethan's gaze. As soon as Caleb returned, Liam mumbled an excuse and fled. Walking back to his own dorm, he couldn't contain the giddy feeling bubbling up inside him. He pulled out his phone and messaged his gaming friend. "Buddy, I think you were right. When I finally get him, I'm taking you out for a steak dinner." His friend's reply was almost instantaneous, but by the time Liam opened the chat, 3 messages had been rapidly deleted. The only one that remained was, "You got him?" A new message followed immediately. "You confessed?" Liam felt a pang of guilt. "Not yet," he typed. Then, to save face, he added, "But I kissed him last night. And he didn't punch me. That's a good sign, right?" He decided a kiss on the cheek still counted. The person on the other end was silent for a moment before sending a string of 6 exclamation points. Then came 2 words. "You coward." Liam couldn't shake the feeling that the message carried an odd, personal sort of frustration. Over the next few days, Liam kept his distance from Ethan, spending most of his time composing and deleting messages in their chat window. Unsure of how to start the conversation he so desperately wanted to have. His main activity became consulting his gaming friend for advice on how to win someone over. Then, a message from Caleb appeared in their group chat, trying to organize a weekend outing. If Caleb was going, Ethan would probably be there too. As Liam was debating whether to go, a direct message from Ethan popped up. "Caleb wants to do an escape room this weekend. We need 1 more person. You in?" To hesitate for even a second would have been a crime. He typed back immediately, "I'm in." Ethan replied, "Cool. I'll pick you up tomorrow. We can go together." Liam's eyes lit up. He hugged his phone, a wide grin spreading across his face. "Okay." Just then, his dorm room door opened and his roommate, Mark, walked in. For reasons unknown to Liam, Mark had disliked him from the first day of school, avoiding him and making his hostility clear. Over time, Liam had learned to ignore him. Mark saw him grinning at his phone. "Looks like someone's in love," he sneered. Liam didn't want to engage. He shut off his phone and stood up to go take a shower. His dismissive attitude seemed to agitate Mark further. "Hey, Liam, just some friendly advice," Mark said, dropping his books loudly on his desk. "These rumors about you and Ethan from the business school are getting pretty intense. You're not actually gay, are you?" Liam's face hardened. "What's it to you?" His other 2 roommates, sensing the escalating tension, quickly intervened. "Mark, what are you saying?" Apologized to Liam. "You can't believe campus gossip." "Yeah, man," the other added. "Everyone said it was an accident." Mark just scoffed. "He better not be. I don't want to live in the same room with some disgusting faggot." Hearing that word, Liam dropped his towel, his fists clenching. He took a step towards Mark, ready to fight, but his other roommates held him back. Mark shot him a provocative glare before turning and leaving the room. His roommates tried to console him, telling him not to take Mark's words to heart. Liam just nodded, assuring them he was fine. He truly did put it out of his mind. The next day, when he saw Ethan waiting for him outside the dorm, all thoughts of Mark vanished. It was strange. Since the kiss at the pizza place, he hadn't felt comfortable calling him by his last name anymore. He just wanted to say his name, Ethan was wearing a black jacket with a messenger bag slung across his chest, looking down at his phone. The sight sent a flutter through Liam's chest. "Ethan," he called out. Ethan looked up, a small smile playing on his lips. "Hey." They met the rest of the group at a newly opened escape room complex near campus. They were the last to arrive. Caleb, Logan, and two other guys were already there. Caleb had chosen a horror-themed room. He looked at Ethan with a smug grin. "Heard this one is pretty terrifying. If you can't handle it, just call me bro, and I'll protect you inside." Ethan's expression didn't change. "You should probably worry about protecting yourself." Before Caleb could retort, Logan, who was standing behind him, grabbed his hand. "Caleb, bro, I'm scared," he said, his voice a playful whine. Everyone, including the employee checking them in, froze. A faint blush crept up Caleb's neck. He stammered, well, since you called me bro, I guess I'll protect you then." Hearing this, Liam couldn't help but glance at Ethan. Based on Caleb's taunt, it seemed Ethan really was afraid of this kind of thing. Noticing Liam's look, Ethan seemed to understand. He took Liam's hand, pulling him to a stop as the others filed into the pre-show room. "What's wrong?" Liam asked. Ethan looked down, his voice a theatrical whisper. "Bro, I'm scared too." In that instant, Liam's heart hammered against his ribs. It took him a few seconds to recover. He squeezed Ethan's hand tightly. "I'll protect you when we go inside." Ethan smiled. "Okay." As they moved deeper into the attraction, the lights grew dimmer until they were extinguished completely. In the pitch-black corridor leading into the escape room proper, unknown to anyone else, Ethan and Liam walked hand in hand. The room's design and atmosphere were impressively unsettling. The group of them managed to solve the first few puzzles together, but the final stage required two people to go into a separate room to find a key. Liam and Ethan volunteered. The moment they stepped through the doorway, a costumed actor lunged at them from the shadows. Liam's heart leaped into his throat. He grabbed Ethan's hand and ran. In the panic scramble, he pulled Ethan into the first open room he saw, and they huddled together in a corner, hidden by a heavy curtain. The space was tiny. Both of them were breathing heavily. After the adrenaline subsided, Liam became acutely aware of how close they were. So close their breaths mingled in the small space. A thought he had long suppressed now screamed for release. "Ethan," he began. They were nearly the same height. Ethan's soft "hm" was a gentle vibration in the air between them. Liam opened his mouth to speak, but the words wouldn't come out. What if confessing ruined everything? What if Ethan started to hate him? But then he remembered his friend's words. "He won't know if you don't tell him." Torn, he whispered Ethan's name again. This time, Ethan didn't answer. Liam heard him let out a soft sigh in the darkness. Then, Ethan took a small step forward, closing the microscopic gap between them, and wrapped an arm around Liam's waist. The touch sent a shock through Liam's system. Ethan's voice was a low, coaxing murmur against his ear. "Liam, I'm right here, in front of you. What do you want to say?" His tone was so gentle, so unlike the tough persona everyone else knew. For everyone else, Ethan was aloof and prone to trouble. But for Liam, he was proving to be unexpectedly tender. All of Liam's reservations vanished. "Ethan, I like you," he blurted out. "When you told me to kiss you again, did you mean that you like me too?" After all this time, he could still vividly recall Ethan grabbing his collar, a smile in his eyes as he made the request. The moment the words left his lips, he heard Ethan's soft laughter. His warm breath ghosted over Liam's ear, and his face instantly flushed. "I thought I was being obvious enough," Ethan murmured, his voice growing husky. "I just checked. There are no cameras here." Liam's mind went blank for a second. Oh, was all he could manage. Liam, open your mouth. Though he knew they were hidden, his heart still raced with nervous excitement. They kissed, a deep and unhurried exploration in the shared darkness. The world outside their small hiding place ceased to exist. Time stretched, and Liam's hands clutched the back of Ethan's jacket. When they finally broke apart, both were breathless. After a moment, Ethan reached up and gently combed his fingers through Liam's hair. "Liam," he said softly, "I like you too." By the time they emerged, Caleb and the others had already solved the final puzzle without the key. As the game master led them out for a debriefing, they realized they had completely forgotten about their task. "So, you two didn't get the key," Caleb said, his expression one of pure, innocent confusion. "What were you doing in there for so long?" Liam and Ethan exchanged a quick glance before looking away. Ethan answered calmly, "An actor chased us. We got scared and ran into the wrong room." Liam silently added, "And then we made out in there." Now that Ethan had spoken, Liam dared to look at him. He noticed Ethan's ears were red. Not only were his ears red, but there was a small, fresh cut on his lower lip. Caleb noticed it too. "Whoa, what happened to your mouth?" he exclaimed, pointing. His loud question drew everyone's attention to Ethan's lip. Ethan instinctively glanced at Liam before shutting his mouth, refusing to say a word. But Caleb wouldn't let it go. "Dude, I'm asking you. It was fine when we went in. How'd your lip get busted in there? Why are you looking at Liam? Don't tell me he did it." Liam nearly choked. He had to admit Caleb wasn't wrong. The outcome was correct, even if he couldn't imagine the method. As Caleb continued to pester him, Ethan, looking thoroughly annoyed, finally cut him off. "Yeah, he did it. You want to know how? Go ask him." Caleb and Liam both froze. He looked back and forth between them, for once completely silent. Then he leaned towards Liam, his voice a cautious whisper. "Liam, how did you do it?" Looking at Caleb's bewildered face, the word biting was impossible for Liam to say. It was Logan who finally dragged Caleb away, his expression a complicated mix of shock and dawning realization. Ethan walked Liam back to his dorm. They didn't say much, but their hands, which had found each other in the darkness of the city streets, remained entwined until they reached the entrance of Liam's building. The thrill finally subsided, replaced by a quiet sense of reality. Ethan was his boyfriend. Before Liam went inside, Ethan smiled at him. "See you tomorrow, boyfriend." Climbing the stairs, Liam immediately pulled out his phone to share the news with his gaming friend. "Ah, I did it. I got him." He was typing as he walked, stopping only when he reached his dorm room door. His suitcase was sitting in the hallway. A distinctive box lay on top, its lid ajar. His heart sank when he recognized it. The unfinished message sent automatically. Mark stood in the doorway, his face a mask of disgust. The other two roommates stood behind him, silent and uncomfortable. Liam's voice was cold as steel. "Mark, why did you go through my things?" The box contained all the love letters he had ever written to Ethan. Mark pointed a finger at him. "Because you're a gay freak who likes guys. He must have read them." Their argument in the hallway began to draw an audience from other rooms. Emboldened by the attention, Mark's voice grew louder. "I knew there was something weird going on between you and Ethan. Here's all the proof anyone needs." He punctuated his sentence by stomping his foot down on the box, leaving a dirty shoe print on the scattered white pages. "The thought of living with a homosexual for this long makes me sick. It's disgusting. Liam, take your stuff and get out." He never finished his sentence. A red haze descended over Liam's vision, and he lunged, tackling Mark to the ground. They wrestled on the floor, Liam's fists flying, each blow fueled by rage. His roommates rushed to pull him off, pleading with him to calm down, but the scene was pure chaos. When Ethan arrived, he found Liam sitting on a bench outside the residential director's office, staring into space. He walked over, and Liam looked up, wanting to say something but finding no words. Ethan gently touched the cut on Liam's cheek. "Does it hurt?" He hadn't even felt it until now, but at Ethan's question, he nodded. "Ethan," he said, his voice cracking, "the letters are all dirty. That box held every draft, every unsent confession." Ethan pulled him into a hug, stroking his back comfortingly. "I'm sorry. I got here too late." Liam shook his head, burying his face in Ethan's shirt. "They're not dirty," Ethan said softly. "The one you gave me? I know it by heart, Liam." Liam pulled back, stunned. He had always assumed Ethan had never even opened it. Seeing his confusion, Ethan smiled faintly. "I read it the night you gave it to me. Just rest for a bit, okay? I'll handle this." The amount of new information was too much to process. Liam just nodded numbly. The R.D.'s initial decision was for Mark to be moved out, as he was the one who had rifled through private property. But Liam shook his head. "I'll move. I don't want to live here anymore." Ethan immediately got on the phone with Caleb, arranging for help with Liam's things. A new room was secured within the hour, in a suite with guys from his own major who had a similar class schedule. When Ethan brought him to the new dorm, the three guys greeted Ethan like an old friend. It was then Liam realized they already knew each other. They were friendly and didn't ask about what had happened, simply welcoming him as their new roommate. Liam felt a wave of relief. As Ethan was leaving, he leaned in and whispered, "I'm looking for an off-campus place. I just figured you'd want the full dorm experience first, to make some friends. But once the apartment is set up, I'll come get you whenever you want to move out. We can live together." Liam pulled Ethan's hand down and held it tight. "The rent," he said, "we'll split it." It was in their sophomore year that they finally moved out. The day they finished, Caleb insisted on a housewarming dinner. He had found out about them the night of the fight, and for a long time afterward, he had looked at Liam with a complicated expression. Eventually, he had asked him a question. "Liam, can guys really be together like that?" There was no disgust in his voice, only genuine confusion. Liam had thought about it before answering. "Caleb, I like Ethan just because he's Ethan." He didn't know how else to explain it. Before Ethan, he had never once thought he might be interested in guys. The feeling was singular. Caleb was quiet for a long time after that. That night, after Caleb left their new apartment, Liam and Ethan sat on the sofa, playing a video game together. When the match ended, they looked at each other. It was unclear who moved first, but soon they were lost in a deep kiss. The living room was lit by a single floor lamp, casting long shadows. Pinned beneath Ethan on the sofa, Liam managed to speak through a haze of desire. "Ethan, let's go to the bedroom." Ethan kissed the corner of his mouth, his voice a low rasp. "Tonight we stay here." And with that, any remaining thread of rational thought Liam possessed dissolved completely. It was on a completely ordinary evening that Liam discovered Ethan was his online gaming buddy. Living together, it was bound to happen eventually, though it happened much faster than Ethan had expected. He had just gotten out of the shower to find Liam holding his phone, staring at him with an expression of pure, indignant betrayal. "Ethan," he said, his voice dangerously level. Ethan knew he was caught. "Okay, look," he started, "I can explain." The explanation eventually ended with them back in bed, rendering the shower he'd just taken completely pointless. Liam was too exhausted afterward to continue the interrogation. Caleb had once asked him why he liked Liam. At the time, he couldn't come up with a concrete reason. But looking back, it all started with that first accidental kiss. His immediate, subconscious reaction was not to push Liam away, but to pull him closer and ask for more. He knew from the very beginning that Liam liked him, not because of their online friendship, but because of the misdelivered love letter and the undisguised adoration in Liam's eyes whenever he looked at him. Liam thought he was being subtle, but he was an open book. And somewhere along the way, without even realizing it, Ethan had started to fall for him too.